And a very good Monday morning to you. I hope I find you very well on what is here in Manchester today. A miserable, grey, damp forecast to be very rainy, very thundery later on today. So not a particularly nice day, but I suppose we're now going into autumn, so that's kind of how it's going to be. A nice short video, this one. Not been around for a while, not been well, but fighting back now, which is a good thing. As you saw from the title, this is a TV license myth that resurfaced to me in the last couple of weeks, but I'm assuming it's not just a couple of people that have contacted me regarding this, or other people must believe this, and it's allied to a very faulty belief system within the TV license world anyway. So what is it? Well, let's take the second bit first. One of the myths that is believed quite widely here in the UK is that you need a TV license if you own a TV set. Well, that's just not the case because the Communications Act states that you need a device, any device that can receive live broadcasts. If you watch live broadcasts, or if you record live broadcasts, or use BBC iPlayer, you need a TV license. So that's on any device. But the key thing to remember is that if you have a television in your house, you do not automatically need a TV license, even though the name seems to suggest that you might need a license for owning a TV, like a dog license used to be. You needed a license to own a dog. A gun license, or here in Britain we call it a firearm certificate, but same thing, but it's not an accurate description. So if you have a TV in your house, you don't need to have a license as long as you don't watch or record live TV from any source, whether it's UK based or internationally. Now the second thing is this myth, and it's a myth that I thought had died out, but it apparently hasn't. A few weeks ago I had an email, I think it was an email, basically saying, well, all the information you're giving, Stuart, is all very, very well and good, but the problem is you can't escape the TV license. There is no way you can escape having to pay the TV license. So he went on from that by saying, well, when you go into an electronics retailer, you buy a television, and that retailer notifies BBC Licensing that you have become the new proud owner of your new 55-inch smart TV. Now, let me tell you a little bit about my history. Back in 1984, sorry, 84? No, 94. I was made redundant from a job that I enjoyed, travelling around the country, dealing with lots and lots of different organisations, and the company I was working for went bump. We had no notice, we were just called back in and had to hand our company cars back and so on and so forth. Now, this was in November of that year. Now, needless to say, coming up to Christmas, money is quite important. So I got what I thought was just going to be a Christmas temp job at a company called Norweb Retail, which was the Northwest Electricity Board retail arm, who had superstores around the northwest of England selling all domestic appliances. Now, over the next 4 years that I was there, so obviously the job just wasn't a Christmas temp job. I went from Christmas temp to full-time salesman to deputy manager within both Norweb, and then Norweb was bought out by Comet, who now no longer exist either. Is that the kiss of death? Is it me? Is it me working for companies making them go out of business? I don't know. Anyway, now I sold a fair amount of old television sets in my career within that kind of retail outlet, and I can assure you, if you believe that if you buy new TV, the retailer is legally bound to tell the TV licensing authorities that you have just bought a new television, that's not the case. I sold everything from a 12-inch portable all the way up to, at that time, which was a 40-inch surround sound CFAX television, that nowhere in my career did I ever report the buyer to TV licensing. Was I ever told that there was a mandate to report the buyer to TV licensing? Or as far as I'm aware, it may have been the case many moons ago, 20 years ago maybe, but there was no legal requirement for us as an electronics retailer to tell TV licensing of a new television owner. So really that's the crux of this video. There seems to be a lot of myths, a lot of misunderstandings, a lot of bad information out there regarding TV licenses, and I've covered those in other videos. By all means, check back in my library and you will find them, and I try to make them as comprehensive as I possibly can. But if you have any questions, drop them down below and I'll try and clarify it for you if it's not clear enough. So if you're carrying around, or somebody in your family is carrying around, let's say at the moment they don't have a TV license, they don't believe that they have to have a TV license, but think that when their current TV, which maybe is going a bit faulty, or they fancy a smart TV and they're going to look at Currys, which I think is the only big electronic retailer left in the UK now, they're going to go and have a look at the latest Samsung or LG smart TV, that Currys are going to shop them to the license goons. Don't worry, it's just not the case. So that's it for this one. A nice simple one to dispel a myth that I thought had been dead and buried for at least 20 years. But it just goes to show, when people start watching these type of things, kind of hopefully informative videos, that belief systems surface, that hopefully you can kind of belay kind of the fears of people watching this kind of stuff. So that's it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. If you have any queries, comments, anything you want me to make a video on, by all means, put a little suggestion down below. Let me know whether you were worried about buying a new TV. Trust me, you'll be fine. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll be back hopefully later on today with something else that's rattling around in my head. So for now, I'll speak to you again soon. Bye bye.